Hello, football lovers. Glad to see you. Like every Monday on Football Planet, your show dedicated to football news on Africanews. Right away, let's go on with the show. In this program, 2 times of Mohamed Salah, the Egyptian striker, was named African Player of the Year for the 2nd time in a row. The reward for a breathtaking season. We are talking about this with a former winner, the Senegalese El Hadji Diouf, who will be on the phone later. Let's go to the Champions League group stage and a smashing start for Wydad. Winners 5-2 against ASEC Mimosa. Defending champions Tunis Esperon were held in check in Guinea. Find all the results in this program. And then he was the hero of South Africa's qualification for the 1998 World Cup. Phil Masinga, African champion in 1996, died on Sunday. Sad news for African football. So much on the summary. More just after this little break. Welcome to Football Planet. It was like a matter of course after an exceptional season. The title could not escape him. Mohamed Salah was named African Player of the Year for the 2nd time in a row. The Egyptian striker beat Sadio Mane of Senegal and Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang of Gabon. In the women's event, the title went to South African Christiana Tiemba Galatlana. Before talking about it with a double African golden ball, the former Senegalese striker Diouf, I could like to share with you the reactions of the winners after their crown.
I'm still overwhelmed that the whole country of South Africa backed me up, voted for my goal, although I was competing against men. And it is a privilege for me to be standing in this position, and it will always be a memory that I won Goal of the Year for 2018.
When I was young, I always had a dream to win this award. Now I won it twice, so I'm happy about that. But really, I would love to win the African nation in Egypt, especially when you play in home and with your people, and everyone is very excited. So we will do our best to win it in Egypt.
Yes, the country of Pharaohs has been designated by CAF to host the next African Cup of Nations a little over 5 months, a subject that we will also discuss with El Hadji Diouf, undoubtedly the best Senegalese player in history. In any case, he is the only one to have won the African Golden Ball, twice winners in 2001 and 2002. Thank you for being with us, Diouf. So, Mohamed Salah, African Player of the Year, is anything but a surprise, isn't it?
No, it was no surprise to football experts. It's fine that the entire country will be behind each player due to love, but the reality is not because we love the person who should win. But the first thing is that we give this trophy to a player because he deserves it. He was the best among the best. It is because he also accomplished an exceptional season, as Salah did. Sadio did not deserve it. It must be annoying to be second every time. This is the 3rd time Mane has come second in CAF Awards. Now, I would say it's up to him to know what he's missing in order to win it next time.
What exactly does Sadio Mane lack to reverse the situation, because he shines a club and national teams?
I would say that a club. The hardest part is the club. It's not even the national team. It's true that it's a problem we have every time the Senegalese team plays. But I would say that he needs to have another challenge too. I was talking about it with one of his advisors, to leave Liverpool and play elsewhere to ensure he can win the Golden Ball. As long as they are in the same club, Salah at the moment is well established at Liverpool. Everyone loves him, the fans, the club's entourage, everyone. And he's the top scorer in Liverpool today. That's what counts. Now, to Sadio also, if I were him, I would leave for another big club to challenge for next year's African Best Player. As long as they are in the same club and Salah continues to be decisive, he will win easily.
The next CAN will be played in Egypt, and some present Senegal as a favorite for the title. Do you think the same thing?
Senegal are not the favorites. I wouldn't say that. Senegal are favorites. They know they are favorites. Today, Egypt are the #1 favorites. They have their golden boy. They have the best African player, one of the best players in the world. And I think it's being played at home. Today, I believe that everything is done to make sure Salah wins the best player next year. If he wins the Nations Cup, I don't see how he won't be crowned Africa's best player. and he's on his way to becoming England's top scorer. Egypt are the favorites for this African Cup of Nations, but there are some very good teams, some good teams. Senegal are one of the underdogs. We know what we need to do, and we are going to work humbly to try to get to the African finals.
You know Egypt well because you played in the CAN in 2006, and you have a bad memory of it, a revenge to be taken for your players.
No, you shouldn't compare. It's a new generation altogether coming. We shouldn't think about going there because in Egypt, what happened 12 years ago. It's true that it hurts our hearts because we had a penalty that the referee did not award us. We could have beaten them, but that's football. You have to forget it. We should not forget today to make enemies in the host country. And it is not good for anyone. Today, we are going there with a positive mind and above all, believing in our strengths.
Thank you very much, Diouf. That was El Hadji Diouf, former captain of the Teranga Lions of Senegal. Nostalgic people will probably remember his wide dribbles, especially during the 2002 World Cup. An immensely talented player. Let's stay on the CAN 2019, which will be played for the first time in summer. A very good idea for the Egyptian Mohamed Salah, who explains why.
But I prefer end of the season because also if we play in January, that's very difficult for us as a players to play in the club, then leave the club in January and go to African nation, then come back. We lost a couple of games. If we fight for any award, the player of the season or the golden boot or whatever, it's going to be very difficult for us.
And we will know in a few months if this decision is precisely the best for the players, as Mohamed Salah thinks. Let us now turn to Tunisia to talk about the experience of Tunis, which is part of the restricted circle of century-old clubs. 100 years of embodying the pride of Tunisian football, and its supporters who enjoy this longevity at the top are shown in this report.
Tunisia's oldest football club is 100 years old. The Esperance of Tunis is celebrating its centenary with pride following its third continental crown in the Champions League last November. Esperance is a very large family. When Esperance wins, everyone is happy in Babsuka. If someone in our neighborhood asks for help, they're given money without being held accountable. Esperance makes us happy and gives us joy and pleasure and brings us closer to people. Esperance is not just football. It's a social phenomenon. Everyone tries to imitate him, and everyone tries to envy him. That's why its popularity is growing. The Esperance of Tunis can boast of 45 titles, including 28 championships and 3 Champions League titles. In Tunisia, the club is known to be close to the government, and its management was effectively linked to the regime of former President Zine El Abidine Ben Ali.
In any case, in 100 years, the Sank have built up an impressive list of achievements with 28 Tunisian championship titles, 15 national cups, 1 CAF Cup, 1 African Super Cup, and above all, the 3 Champions Leagues, a competition in which they hold the trophy they began defending last weekend. But it is not without its difficulties. On the road to Conakry, they narrowly got away with a draw point ahead of the AC Horoya, but the performance of the day is to be credited to Wydad de Casablanca, who won the ASEC 5-2. And let's look together at the complete result and rankings at the end of the first day. The second day of this Champions League is being played on Friday and Saturday with a dangerous trip by Horoya AC to the Orlando Pirates and the Maghreb derby between Ismaili and Club Africanews as shown and this table in the full program. But let's wait and see what happened in the other competition, the CAF Cup, which is in the playoff stage, and a great operation for Asante Kotoko and Hassania Agadi, the only ones to have won on opposing soil. The return matches of this CAF Cup playoffs are scheduled for next weekend. As I was saying in the beginning, it was with great sadness that we learned of the death of Phil Masinga. The former South African player died on Sunday after a long illness. The 1996 African champion. He had 58 caps and 18 goals with Bafana Bafana. He was 49 years old. And this is the end of the program. You can find more on website at www.africanews.com and on various platforms on social networks at the address currently displayed at the bottom of your screen. I look forward to seeing you next Monday and wish you an excellent week. Goodbye.